Hello, if you're new here, my name is Danielle and I'm here today to show you a series of Christmas journals that I've been working on. The first one will be the Gingerbread Man, but before we get started, I want to kind of share a few things. All the journals that I share in the next few videos, they will be available in my Etsy shop as soon as you see the video. So if you're seeing the video, they're available. There is one that has been requested, so that one, unless she changes her mind, will not be available. But I will still share a flip through for her and for my records and just for lots of fun inspiration. So these 5 embellished and 1 that is unembellished and comes with a kit are intended to be delivered, depending on when they're ordered, within enough time to do a December daily. I'm planning to continue to create Christmas moving forward, at least up until Christmas time-ish, but they will clearly not be available for real-time December daily journaling. So I just want to kind of give that a heads up. I don't personally do December daily journaling, so it's just not for me, but I know a lot of you do, and so if you are interested in purchasing one of my journals and you do want to do a real-time December daily journaling, then you would want to purchase one from this set. I hope that makes sense. So we'll go ahead and get started. This is, like I think I mentioned, from a Telltale book. So it's the Gingerbread Man, and I've got a vintage gift tie yarn closure here that I've braided red, white, and green and tied a knot at the end. So completely removable. I'm not sure I love this tie closure, but it's good enough to hold the journal together because it's very, very chunky and fluffy. So if you're not familiar, the Telltale books, this one measures 6 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I built a 2 1/4 inch spine with 3 signatures. So I also did the same thing with the gift tie here that can be completely removable. Kind of all turned around here. I made a little bow with the gift tie and then just tied it onto the tassel. So like I said, if you want to remove it, you just pull this like you would any bow and it'll come untied. Okay, so there's lots of different beads. There's jingle bells. There are gingerbread man beads here, glass beads. There's some peppermint candy beads, a Christmas light bead, and a little gingerbread man charm here. And then another fun thing that I have for this one is this little chip clip. I thought it would be fun if you're working in the journal and you wanted to kind of clip the page. I don't know if you would clip it this way or that way, but then you could work on it. And so this one, as well as the Boxy Twin journal, will come with the snowman chip clip. I only have 2, so that's why. And if you don't want to use it for your journal, you can always just give it to someone or use it for chips at Christmas time. And then I had forgotten to add these. They all will come with a bottle cap charm paper clip. And I forgot to add it in there, so I have that set to the side to add. So we'll go ahead and get started. I think this is my favorite, one of my favorite Christmas journals that I've ever made. So I hope you love it as much as I do. I did leave the end pages intact because they're super cute. This is the full story. I think the story is really sad, so I didn't include any of the book pages in the journal. But I have done a Gingerbread Man journal before, and I did use some of the images. Like this is a really cute one, so you can fussy cut those out and use them however you like. You can cut the little gingerbread guy out and use it as little fodder, clip art type thing in collage or as you're journaling. So that will come with the journal. And then on the front page here, in lieu of a library card pocket, I did a little pocket here. There's a ton of stickles used in all of these journals. I hope you can tell with the camera picking it up. I used, for the 5 journals, I went through an entire bottle of the white stickles, among other colors too, but I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to, if I use any more stickles in my other journals, I'm gonna have to order some more of the white. Anyway, so I thought that you could put either the year or some kind of title here, your name, something right there, and then there's a little pocket with just some things tucked in here. And then there's another gingerbread house with a lot of stickles. I'll try to tilt it a little bit so that the light catches, because I really want you to understand that these are super glittery. It's stickles so it doesn't shed, but still the same. Some people aren't in love with glitter. And then I made these little paper buttons out of some sparkle cardstock. And then I used my little like metal punch, the punch that I have that makes these little teeny tiny holes, and then made little buttonholes and put some embroidery thread through it. So you'll see those throughout the journals. There's a vintage label here, and then this is made from a napkin. There's some candy cane trim here. There was wire. This was some wire ribbon, and I just took the wire out and ruffled it up with my sewing machine. A little paper clip with tulle there tied on. This is the shaker card. It can be either a card or a tuck spot. Fun. And it's backed with some manila file folder. The scrapbook paper for this book is super cute with the gingerbread images. There's some Christmas music paper. Let me zoom out, just trying to find the right balance of being able to show you details and being able to see the whole thing. So multiple times in all the journals with different coasters, I sewed some of these paper coasters to some cardstock and made them into little tucks, or some like paper clipped in for you to decide if you want to use it as a tag or a tuck or a tab. There's a vintage date book page from December in here, and then a paper clip with a little peppermint and a jingle bell. This is a little gingerbread guy that you can use wherever you'd like. Some stationery. This is a paper doily that I cut into 4 and have made little tucks. The sewing in all of the journals is done with white thread, so it's not super obvious unless you're looking at it in person. So just kind of keep that in mind. Like I stitched along here and everything's very secure, but it's not a super obvious thread. So there's some authentic vintage labels here and a playing card. This is a tuck spot here with a Stickles image, or an image I used Stickles on. Christmas tree, some white pom-poms look like snowballs. On the inside of the signature strings, I placed these gingerbread charms. And I'm going to swap out this paper clip for the bottle cap, just so I don't forget to put one in here. For all of the paper clips, you can also, in this journal, I made a few of these with the tab and put the charm through the tab by using an eyelet. But for the other ones, I did not do that. They're all paper clips. So you can always take this off of the paper clip and put it through a tab or anything you want. This is some digital vintage gift wrap and a double fabric ruffle here. This is some vintage gift wrap that's seen better days, but it just makes it look more vintage. I didn't want it to not go to use, so I went ahead and used it anyway. This is an adorable image from a book. I can't remember which. This might be Santa's Surprise or something like that. Santa's saying shh because he's sneaking the hot chocolate or whatever that is, the candies. This is a vintage milk tab, and this is a side pocket too. There's a Stickles Santa Claus that's also a tuck. He has stickles around the frame and on his hat. Music paper. This is a tag that I made. I know that this image is from KBandFriends, and I'll have the stores where I purchased the digital images from listed in the description box. But I remember this one's KBandFriends, and I used stickles on the gingerbread house. I think I just showed you this one. These are optional. These little tabs are optional tuck spots. You can either use them as a tuck spot or not. It's completely up to you. I just wanted to show you that you could and give you some extra supplies. But if you have a lot of bulk that you want to add a lot of things of your own, you'll probably have to take some of this stuff out. Even though I put a lot of stuff in here, I did leave some blank pages and lots of blank tags. So this is another book page image with Mrs. Claus making some gingerbread cookies. And then this is the scrapbook paper behind it. And this I did not make into a pocket or a tag. I just clipped it in there for you to use. There's some more stickles, of course. A little journaling tag. I did not do stamping on any of the journals except for one. I'll try to remember to point out. But if you do want stamping and you purchase the journal, then just send me a message and let me know you'd like me to do some stamping, like on the backs of the tags or something. I didn't want to do it on all of them because I started thinking maybe some people don't want me to stamp on the back. So I'll kind of leave that up to you. You can let me know. There's a vintage seal here and a vintage postulette. This is a really pretty gingerbread house, again with a lot of stickles. And a little fabric tab here. This is a recipe card. The gingerbread cookies and a little gingerbread man that you can use whatever you'd like. Here's another image of Mrs. Claus, this time in the candy store. And then this is an invitation. I thought this would be really neat to cut the box out and make either a frame for a photo or another shaker or something like that. And some more pom-pom trim. This is a die cut. There is a tally card that you can alter further, add more paper, make it into a little booklet. Again, little gingerbread guy charms. This is an optional tuck spot here of another coaster sewn onto some cardstock. And then another seal up here, a vintage seal. Another gingerbread house. Kind of turn that so you can see the glitter. And then here I made a little fabric cluster and stitched a gingerbread cookie button on top. A vintage postcard, another little tab with, this one has a Christmas tree and a little bead dangle that I made in a jingle bell. This is from the paper line, cut apart. Unaltered little guest check. These red and white ones are a different form of guest check that I found a long time ago, big bunch of them. There's the other side of the postulette, and again, these are optional tucks. Whether you want to just stick a photo here and then call it quits, or if you want to journal and stick a photo or not use it as a tuck spot at all, completely up to you. From the paper line, here's another tag that I made. And another little gingerbread guy. I'm getting stuck on something up here. Another tag. And I love this greeting card, the Santa Claus. And there's a wonderful Santa Claus image on the back too. I didn't close it in or open it up, so it's totally up to you. A vintage ticket and another one of the star buttons. Another tab that can be a tuck spot. She's all glammed up. I love that little gingerbread lady. And then some playing cards, more music paper. Vintage postcard. This coaster is just paper clipped in, so you can do what you like with that. Another tab here. In this pocket this is a letter to Santa. Oh, I paper clipped that in. This is actually my second time doing this video, so it might not be as neatly put in there as it was the first time. So it's just a little envelope with a letter to Santa, and if you have children, this would be great for them to write on and use, or if you don't, maybe you could put your dreams and wishes for the next year on this paper, whatever you'd like. You could journal about things that you asked Santa for when you were a child or whatever. This is the digital image that I enlarged, and then I took a X-Acto knife and cut the little slots of the tree out and used some packaging plastic, and then I had a box of vintage icicles and I just took some out and put it behind the plastic, kind of like a shaker, and then stitched and sealed it shut. Well, glued it and then stitched and sealed it shut. So that can be a tuck spot or a tag, whatever you'd like. Another coaster and another paper clip. Recipe card and another gingerbread house that you can do what you want with. Poinsettia here. All the poinsettias and the holly leaves my mom and I made using a die cut. This is a vintage Christmas card with an image that I received in Happy Mail, and then just some paper from the paper line. Another tag from the paper line. I'll put that here. And then this is decoupage napkin that I fussy cut through the napkin and then placed it on this music paper just for some interest. There's a gift tie bow up here and another gingerbread recipe gingerbread cookie recipe card. And some pom-pom trim. This is a shaker for this, and this is a digital of a vintage advertisement. Another invitation. These are our cards that open like that. You wouldn't have to use it like that. You could cut that Santa out and use them whatever you'd like. A vintage Santa seal and a canning label with a little digital Happy Holidays sign. And a little tuck spot here and a tuck spot here. So these are the holly and the points that I was saying we made using dies. That was a lot of work. All right, so that is the end of that one. And like I said, this is one of my favorites. I hope one of you guys love this. So I'm gonna end this video here, and then I'm gonna do the Bopsy Twins book next. That one is reserved or was requested. But I'm still gonna share for inspiration, and I will see you then. Bye. Thank you.